Welcome back. Zamfara State Governor Lawal is facing a widespread backlash after a viral video showed him admitting he knows the locations of bandits operating in the state but is powerless to act. Speaking in Hausa, the governor expressed frustration over his lack of control, stating that despite providing 150 vehicles to security agencies, their deployment is dictated by Abuja. He also claimed he could monitor the bandits' daily movements with available technology and asserted the crisis could be resolved within 2 months if he had authority over security operations. I still have Kadeline Nde on Zoom, and of course, Dr. John Isura here with me. Now, Dr. very quickly, what Governor Lawal of Zamfara State expressed in that video, is this a revelation or an indictment?
Okay, I think it's actually the reality of what a lot of governors are actually not saying.
Right.
And at a point, I'm not sure whether this conversation is fit for television, but I will dance around it.
Okay.
In Ondo State, a prominent Oba was killed on his way to his community. He came to Akure, the Ondo State capital, for the monthly meetings of the Obas. He never made it home. And what we got in the process of our agitation within the community is that the governor, the late governor, actually had information and he tried to do something, but it was limited. But these are not conversations that people will come on television to tell you about.
Okay.
So it's an expression of frustration. And I think it's so good that we're tying this story because people outside of government may become emotional.
Okay, hold it. You said the governor at the time tried. But
yes.
Obviously his hands were tied.
Yes.
But now the question is, if the governors are referred to as the chief security officers of their state, is that title a figurehead then?
The reality is that I doubt whether, and that's why I think a lot of them are coming up with having their Amotekun and all of that, so that there can be a semblance of what looks like a chief security officer. The reality is that you don't have to take permission if you are really the chief security officer from anybody to do anything in terms of security. In fact, what is closely related to that is the fact that, and I know, aside from that, there's nothing security or chief security about the governor. It's about the fact that they have security vote. The essence of security vote is not for a governor to run to London and enjoy. It's actually to deploy it for maintenance of peace and order in your community,
state.
the way you best understand it. But of course, having control over security operatives is something that has been, and by privilege, I've been in some of these conversations, and I see their frustration.
Do not exhaust your thoughts. Let's get to hear Kayode quickly. Kayode, very quickly, what political motivations or pressures might be behind such a bold and time-bound statement from Governor Lawal, especially in light of upcoming political events or public opinion?
Okay, so just for record, we can only do this kind of conjecture because we don't have the privilege of looking at the governor's phone to look at those terrorists he could spot on his phone. Why we might say that he is a governor.
All right.
We don't expect him to play politics with that, but we need to establish something.
Right.
There is a possibility that there is a politicization of the whole thing. What do I mean by that? The Minister of State for Defense happens to be the former governor of Zamfara State.
Right.
And as at the last time, the impression is that he also wants to come back to do his second term, which he lost this last election. So it is more like the governor is throwing some bullets, so to say, to the Minister of State for Defense. But do governors have intelligence? The answer is yes. Do governors get frustrated in maximizing the federal force? The answer is yes. So are we saying that the governor needs to be given full attention? The answer is in the positive. So I am saying that for God's sake and for Christ's sake and for the fact that people are being killed, these things should not be politicized. Let's heed to that call. You remember the story of Zulum those days when he would lead the force and he was almost killed and he was telling the army, we know where those people are. So this also brings credence to the call for state police. But in the interim, while we are waiting for the papers to be right, while we're waiting for the constitutional amendment to be cleaned up, it is important that let the president issue those powerful statements when he gives that marching order that please let these people be crushed. Let that phone be shown to Mr. President. Whatever app he's using, we should put it to empirical verification.
Right.
Let's get these people down.
All right, Dr. quickly, given the complex socio-economic and political roots of banditry in the Northwest, is it realistic to believe that such a deep-rooted issue can be resolved within just 2 months, according to how the governor put it?
I think the 2 months there is a mere political exaggeration.
Okay, figurative.
Yes, it's just figurative that we can actually tackle this thing. And I will not also divorce politics from whatever statement that has been said. But of course, like Kayode said, there are a lot of truism in what he said.
So who's benefiting from this carnage? Why are we going around the circles when we can actually deal with the issue?
The truth is that the fight against terror or banditry is not that of deadline, it's that of consistency.
Okay.
But when you see the way we have come in the last few years of this banditry attack and terrorism attack, you discover that our major problem is not with the insecurity as in banditry or Boko Haramism. It's in the political undertone. And you've seen political leaders come to accuse one another of being responsible for the problem we have in the north. Right. And it's also, that looks like the situation. So until we get to a point of commitment, both the federal is not seeing the state and the state is not seeing the federal, has been responsible for not being able to solve the problem. Okay. Until they come together. Like Kayode said, I'm thinking that as we are waiting for this law of state police, because state police is not just going to make insecurity disappear. Okay. This is a mindset thing. People are benefiting from it. It's like a gold mine. Okay. People are making political benefit. They are now cunningly attaching religious benefits to it. Okay. And anything in Nigeria that is attached to religion. It's gone.
Oh well, we hope positivity will continue to thrive in this situation. Let's go to our final story for the day.